You know what's worse than being cheated on? Being cheated on by your girlfriend, with your own brother. And the crazy part? They would have gotten away with it if it weren't for the birthday gift I gave him. Yeah, that's where this whole story turns upside down. A simple wrapped box with something inside that exposed everything. Let me take you back. Her name was Lacey. We'd been together a little over 2 years. She was funny, smart, had that kind of effortless charm that made people lean in when she talked. The kind of girl who knew your mom's birthday, sent handwritten cards, always brought a bottle of wine to dinner. Everyone loved her. Especially my parents. Especially my brother. At first, I didn't think much of it. Nate's always been the golden boy. You know the type: bigger smile, smoother talk, walked into a room and somehow made it his without trying. Growing up, I always felt like the solid one, the dependable one. He was the star. I was the background. And I was okay with that, mostly. I mean, sure, sometimes it stung. Like when Dad would say, "You should take notes from your brother," or when Mom would beam just a little brighter when Nate walked in. But I figured we're different people. He shines, I show up, no big deal. But Lacey, she was supposed to be different. She was the one thing in my life that felt like mine, truly mine. She met me at my lowest just after I got laid off from my first real job. I was delivering groceries part-time, crashing with a friend, barely holding it together. And somehow, she stuck around. Told me she believed in me. Said I had depth. I didn't even know what that meant at the time, but I clung to it. She helped me climb out of that hole, helped me land a better job, helped me feel like I mattered. And then somewhere along the way, I noticed things started feeling off. Nothing huge, just little stuff. Like how she used to answer my texts right away, but now it took hours. Or how she suddenly had errands that kept her out late. She'd laugh a little too hard at Nate's jokes. Sit just a bit closer when we were all watching television at my parents' place. But every time that little voice inside me whispered, "Something's not right," I shut it down. Because come on, who wants to admit that the person they love might be pulling away? Might be doing something worse? I didn't want to be that guy. The jealous, paranoid, insecure boyfriend. That's not me. So I convinced myself I was imagining things. That is, until Nate's birthday rolled around. He was turning 30. My parents decided to throw a backyard thing, just family, close friends, casual. Nothing crazy. I asked Lacey if she wanted to go early and help me set up. She said she had a hair appointment and would meet me there. Sounded reasonable, but still, something felt weird. She showed up an hour late. Makeup perfect. Wearing that black floral dress she usually saved for nicer dinners. I asked her, "Why so dressed up?" She said, "It's his 30th, babe. Don't you think he deserves the effort?" I laughed. Said, "I didn't know we were dressing for Nate like he's royalty." She smiled. But it didn't quite reach her eyes. That whole afternoon I couldn't shake the feeling. The way she kept circling back to Nate. The way they shared glances that didn't look accidental. I told myself it was just me. That I was tired, overthinking. Until I gave him the gift. It was nothing fancy, just a leather wallet I'd picked up from a shop he liked. But I had it engraved on the inside. Just something simple. "To Nate, from your brother, always got your back." I watched him open it, saw the smile. Then, saw the flicker. His eyes hit the engraving and, for a split second, he looked like someone just punched him in the stomach. It passed fast, but I saw it. Lacey leaned over his shoulder, glanced inside, and froze. And then, she laughed. Too loud. Too sharp. "Nice wallet," she said, grabbing a chip off his plate like nothing happened. But something had. Something had cracked open. I didn't know what yet, but I felt it. That night, after the party, I went home alone. Lacey said she was wiped out and wanted to stay over at her friend Amy's. Normally, I wouldn't have thought twice, but something about the way she said it felt rehearsed. I stayed up late, staring at my ceiling, replaying that moment with the wallet over and over in my head. That flicker, that pause, that look, and that's when I decided. I was done ignoring the voice in my gut. I was going to find out what they were hiding, even if it wrecked me. The next morning, I woke up with that same knot in my stomach. You know that feeling when your body already knows the truth, before your brain lets you say it out loud? Yeah, that. I made coffee. Saturday there, holding the mug like it would somehow tell me what to do. Lacey still hadn't texted. No good morning, no, sorry I didn't come over, just nothing. I stared at the steam rising from the cup and thought, okay, if you want answers, go get 'em. So I did something I never thought I'd do. I checked her location. She had shared it with me months ago, not because I asked, just one of those casual things couples do. Said it made her feel closer when we were apart. Funny how that works. Anyway, I pulled it up. Expected to see her dot near Amy's apartment. But no, she was across town. In a residential neighborhood I didn't recognize. Parked. For over 10 hours. I zoomed in. My brother's street. Not just his street, his driveway. My heart didn't drop. It just went numb. Like the feeling had already been burned through and now I was just left with static. I didn't call her. Didn't call him. I just sat there and stared. For a while, I thought maybe I was overreacting. Maybe she dropped off something. Maybe they were planning a surprise for me. But then I remembered that look, that flicker when he saw the wallet. And suddenly, everything snapped into place. The late nights, the extra laughs, the sudden distance. It had been right in front of me the whole time. I just didn't want to see it. I didn't even know what hurt more, the cheating or the betrayal coming from two people I trusted more than anyone. But here's the thing, I didn't storm over there. Didn't do the whole dramatic confrontation. That's not me. Instead, I got quiet. Really quiet. I needed time to think. To figure out how I wanted this to play out. Because if I was going to get burned like that, I wanted it to matter. So I waited. A few hours later, Lacey finally texted. Morning, babe. Sorry I crashed at Amy's. Was exhausted. Let's do brunch later? I stared at that message. My fingers hovered over the keyboard. I could have said a million things. But all I wrote was, sure, let me know when. Play dumb. Let her think I bought it. Let her feel safe. That was the plan. And yeah, it felt a little messed up. But so was cheating on your boyfriend with his brother. I figured I'd earned a little quiet revenge. Over the next week, I acted normal. Sent her memes, picked her up for dinner, kissed her cheek like nothing was wrong. But inside, I was watching, listening, noting every inconsistency, every forgot to mention, and, oh, I thought I told you. Meanwhile, I started digging. Checked phone records. Matched timelines. Pulled up an old shared photo album and scrolled through the dates. Found shots Lacey said she took alone at the lake. Except Nate was in the background reflection on the car door. Rookie mistake. Then came the nail in the coffin. One night, she left her phone on my coffee table while she went to the bathroom. A message popped up. Not from Nate, no, they were smarter than that. It was from a contact saved as Jamie. But I knew my brother's texting style. Short bursts, no punctuation, always lowercase. This message said, still thinking about last weekend. Your laugh in the shower. When can I see you again? I didn't even need to open the thread. I just stared at that screen, at that one message, and felt everything in me go still. I put the phone down before she came back. Saturday there, like nothing happened. But my mind was racing. I had all the proof I needed now. The location, the texts, the timeline. But I still didn't know how I wanted to end it. I mean, how do you confront something that's been rotting slowly, right under your nose? Do you scream? Do you cry? Or do you just show them that you know? The answer came to me the night before our anniversary. She had made dinner plans, booked a fancy restaurant, even sent me a calendar invite with a little heart emoji. I looked at it, and that's when I knew. That's when I came up with the plan. The gift. The mirror they couldn't look away from. I stayed up late that night, designed a custom photo book online, one of those glossy hardcover things. On the front, I put, memories that matter a year to remember. Inside, I filled it with pictures. Some were real selfies of us on hikes, old birthday snapshots, things that felt sweet, normal. Then, halfway through, I changed it. Started adding screenshots. Her location parked in Nate's driveway. The Jamie message. The car door reflection. I even added the engraving on the wallet, a photo I took of it before I wrapped it. And on the last page I wrote, you both lied. I noticed. And now, so will you. I paid for express shipping. Had it sent to my brother's house with no note, just his name on the box. I didn't go to the anniversary dinner, didn't call, just turned off my phone and went for a drive. Out to the cliffs near Ridgeview, where I used to go when I needed to think. The wind up there always felt cleaner, like it knew how to cut through noise. I sat on the hood of my car, watching the sun go down, and thought, they'll open it tonight. And they did. I know because Nate called me. Twice. Then Lacey. 5 times. I didn't answer. I didn't need to. What could they possibly say that would undo any of it, that would make betrayal feel lighter? I just watched the stars come out. Quiet, steady, unbothered, the way I wanted to feel again. They both showed up the next day. Together, I heard the knock on my apartment door before I even finished my coffee. I already knew it was them. No one else knocks like that short, sharp, like they're trying to hold in something they don't want to admit. I let them knock, didn't open right away, let it hang there for a second. Then I opened the door. No words, just looked them in the eyes. Lacey spoke first. Can we talk? I stepped aside. Didn't say yes, didn't say no. Just walked to the kitchen, grabbed my mug, leaned against the counter. They stood there like they were waiting for a script. Like this was some scene they'd rehearsed but forgot the lines. Nate looked like he hadn't slept. Hair messy. Jaw tight. Lacey, she looked pale. Not teary. Just cornered. We didn't mean for it to happen, she started. Classic. I let her speak. It was a mistake. It wasn't supposed to be anything serious. We were just confused. I raised an eyebrow. You were confused? In his shower? Her face turned red. Nate jumped in. Look, man, I know I messed up. I don't have an excuse. I cut him off. You just didn't think I'd figure it out. Silence. Just silence. You could hear the clock ticking in the next room. That's how quiet it got. I sipped my coffee. You know what hurts more than the cheating? I said. The fact that you two looked me in the eye for months and lied like it meant nothing. Lacey tried to step forward. I never wanted to hurt you. I held up a hand. You did. You don't get to rewrite that. Nate looked down at his shoes. Lacey's eyes were glassy now, but still not a tear. Maybe she couldn't cry, or maybe she didn't think it would help. She asked, So what now? I shook my head. There's no now. There's no fixing this. She opened her mouth, then closed it. Nate shifted his weight, like he wanted to say something. But I didn't give him the space. I said, You can leave now. That was it. No screaming, no drama, just done. They left. Quiet. Slow. Door clicked shut like a punctuation mark. I stood there for a while, just breathing, letting the silence fill up all the places they'd taken up in my head. And I'm not gonna lie, part of me wanted to break something. Yell. Do something dramatic. But the bigger part of me, it felt free. Later that week, my mom called. Said Nate told her some version of the story. Asked if I wanted to come over and talk. I said no. I wasn't ready. Not sure if I ever would be. She sounded sad, but not surprised. I think, deep down, she always knew Nate got away with more than he should have. And maybe this was the line he finally crossed. I didn't ask. Didn't want to dig into their version of the story. I had mine. That was enough. A month passed. Then 2. I started sleeping better. Started focusing on work again. Went to the gym more. Reconnected with a few old friends I'd drifted from. Life didn't magically get better, but it got quieter. And that quiet, it was everything. I deleted Lacey's number. Blocked Nate's. Didn't tell people the whole story unless they really asked. I didn't need the world to hate them. I just needed to not carry the weight anymore. And that birthday gift, that simple wallet, it's still sitting on my shelf. Not as a reminder of what they did, but of what I saw. Of what I trusted. And what I finally learned to trust in myself. Sometimes, the most painful truths don't explode. They just land. Soft, heavy, unavoidable. And in the end, they clear a path you never would have found on your own. So yeah, they betrayed me. But they also set me free. And honestly, that was the best gift I never asked for.